My dad's fiancée took our 1-year-old son to meet Santa Claus without our knowledge, but now that the family doesn't want to attend her party, my father is begging me to forgive her. I live a 5-minute walk away from a mall, and they opened up their Christmas display a few days ago. My husband and I were planning on taking our son, who is 8 months old, there for his first Santa visit this past Saturday. My dad's fiancée is a very self-centered person. Most recently, she tried to post about my pregnancy on social media before I did and confirmed their wedding date, which has since been changed twice, at my sister's birthday party. I'm not fond of her, but she's not usually too hard to tolerate. My immediate paternal family gets together for a small party every year on Christmas Eve. This time, my dad and his fiancée are hosting. I was going to attend it with my husband and our son. Last Thursday, I had a business meeting while my husband was also at work. My dad and his fiancée came over to babysit. I spent some time chatting with them before leaving, and I mentioned our weekend plans, including how we were taking our baby to see Santa. When I got home, my dad's fiancée showed me pictures of herself with my baby and the mall Santa. I don't even have pictures of just my son, she's in all of them. She explained my dad had wanted to take a nap, so she took my son out on a stroll. She went to the mall, saw the Christmas display and couldn't resist taking my son there herself. Let me make this clear, I'm not too much of a Christmas person, and neither is my husband, but she was well aware we were looking forward to doing this with our son. I'm also upset that my dad napped while babysitting, because we wouldn't have had them watch our baby if we knew it would ultimately just be her. And I never gave either of them permission to remove my child from my place while babysitting. I confronted her and said we wanted to take him ourselves, but she acted confused and claimed she didn't realize it was such a big deal and just wanted to have some fun with the baby. My dad also dismissed my feelings and said I was being dramatic. I grabbed my son and told them to leave. My husband was as upset as I was. We decided we wouldn't attend the Christmas party anymore. We'll figure out something else, but we don't want to spend our baby's first Christmas with her. We made it official over the weekend. A lot of my family has replied that they're not coming if I don't. So now my dad is begging me to change my mind. There's still over a month left before Christmas, and I want to sort this out as soon as possible. I don't want to attend, but I also don't want to ruin the party. Edit. Okay, well, I'm not nearly as invested in you as you are in me. Seriously, I think this is longer than my post, but you're making a lot of stuff up and I feel the need to clarify. They didn't visit and offered to babysit because I suddenly needed to leave. They came over to babysit. I invited my dad over with that purpose and he agreed. No, she's not his grandmother. Marrying my dad doesn't automatically make her family. No one calls her grandma. We all refer to her by her first name. He already has 2 grandmothers, he doesn't need a third one. It wasn't sweet of her to take my son out. You don't take other people's children anywhere without permission. You want to document an outing? Take a selfie. Don't do the thing I specifically said I was already going to do. She was well aware I was looking forward to take him there myself. I genuinely have no idea how it could be entitled or selfish PF me to be upset one of my child's firsts was stolen like that. She did mean harm. Again, she knew I was looking forward to doing it myself. If I didn't care about my dad's happiness, I'd refuse to be around his fiancée entirely. I don't care what my family does. I wouldn't mind if the people who are backing out of the party changed their minds. I genuinely don't care whether my dad marries her. We're all adults, and I'm not using my child for anything. I don't care about being the center on the family universe. What? Especially not compared to my dad's fiancée, who makes literally every gathering about her. And based on your tirade about your own father, you're obviously projecting. You can reply to this if you want, but I won't give you any more attention than this.
User 1 comment, my parents did this with my daughter. At first I was upset but then realized at 1-year-old, she won't remember it. I just took her myself for pictures. Now that my parents are gone and my daughter is an adult, I love those pictures.
OP responds, I know my son won't remember this, but I will. I didn't want this woman to take him, I wanted to do it with my husband. And there will never be a point in which I like these pictures. Even if she wasn't in them, they would still remind me that she took that moment away from us. We'll probably take our son again anyway, but I can tell this will be in my head.
User 2 comment, stay away from them. Your instincts about her, and absolutely about your dad snoozing on the job, are spot on. In the future, don't let them babysit. Make other babysitting plans, and always have a plan B which doesn't rely on them.
OP responds, they actually were my plan C. My mom and mother-in-law were both busy. Time to upgrade my sister, I guess. Update 1. A little under 2 weeks after my first post, my husband and I took our baby to a different mall and visited Santa there. Their display wasn't as big as the one from the mall near our place, but it was more colorful and they had a nicer tree. We explored the area with our son afterwards, and I came very close to tears watching the way he reacted to everything. We also took the opportunity to get some Christmas shopping and charity stuff done. Overall, we had a wonderful day. It didn't make either of us forget what happened, but I'll cherish those memories forever. In other news, out of the 15 people who had been invited to the party, not including my son, only 4 are still attending. 2 people from my paternal family and 2 from my dad's fiancés, the only 2 she invited. My relatives who didn't back out of the party are my dad's cousin, who is visiting from a different country and staying at his place, and my grandmother, who doesn't seem to understand what's going on. I want to stress that getting my family members involved wasn't my intention. I told both my cousins what happened because we plan Secret Santa for the party every year. That's where the news spread from. There was also a weird domino effect going on with different parts of the family. I'm not coming, so neither are my parents type stuff, which contributed to the amount of people who backed out. Communication with my dad has been complicated. He's blaming his fiancée for causing the problem, but also me for being emotional and ruining everything. The first time we tried to talk, he made a very offensive comment I couldn't overlook, and then accused me of being dramatic over that too. Our second conversation was better, but still didn't solve much. I was ready to call it quits and accept we'd never agree on this. But my dad called me a few days ago with his fiancée. She didn't really apologize. Instead she reiterated she just wanted to do something fun and didn't think it would be a big deal, but didn't mean to upset me. Knowing her, I didn't buy any of that. I told her there were numerous things she could have done that weren't the one thing she knew I was already planning on doing with my child and didn't require removing him from my place without permission. There was no way she hadn't realized it was important to me. She just didn't care. She tried denying it at first, but she couldn't give me a better explanation. After a few minutes, she started crying and said, "You get to have special moments with this baby every day. Why can't I have an hour?" That led to another small argument. In the end, I told them I didn't know what they thought would happen with that call. I'm not going to their Christmas party, and neither of them will ever babysit my son, or any other child I might have in the future, again. My dad has since apologized, specifically for the phone call, but I don't care anymore. I'm done losing hair over this, and I'm done being treated like my feelings, boundaries, and authority as my child's mother don't matter. I'm not cutting ties with my dad, but I'll do whatever I can to make sure nothing like this happens again. And I like the information diet idea some of you suggested. I definitely feel no need to share any news about my son with my dad's fiancée. As for the holidays, my eldest cousin is throwing a small party at her place on Christmas Eve, which mostly everyone who backed out of my dad's party is attending. On Christmas Day, we'll visit my in-laws and then return home to relax with our baby and play video games. Next year, we're traveling out of state to see my maternal family and go to the beach. This has been a very chaotic month and I have no desire to waste more energy on this, so I probably won't update again. I'm not 100% satisfied with how everything worked out, but I'm glad the situation's been mostly dealt with, and this might actually be the most excited I've been about Christmas in a while. Thank you and happy holidays. A lot of people are asking about why so many people back out, so I spoke with my cousins about this a lot. There were basically 3 reasons why that happened. They preferred to spend Christmas with me. My dad's fiancé tends to go a bit overboard with the decorations whenever they're the ones hosting. Some of my family members went through a very traumatic incident on Christmas almost 30 years ago. So even those that still celebrate with us aren't really Christmas people. Some people were only coming because of someone else who backed out.
User 1 comment, why can't she have an hour of special moments? Because this is your baby. I don't think she'll ever get it.
OP responds, my son is the first baby born in my paternal family in 2 decades, so I was always a bit worried things would get too overwhelming. Turns out most of my relatives are very respectful. But this isn't the first time I've had trouble with her and my dad over something related to my son. And like I mentioned in my first post, she is extremely self-centered. Part of me almost believes she didn't mean to harm me, simply because I'm pretty sure she doesn't think about anyone else's feelings.
User 2 comment, I'm a parent and this seems like a wild overreaction. Her taking the baby to see Santa only detracted from your visit to Santa in your own mind. The baby had 2 delightful afternoons. You stewed about that for weeks.
OP responds, you're overestimating how much this affected my life. I didn't stew about that for weeks. I decided not to attend an event after the host went behind my back, removed my child from my place without permission to deliberately steal one of his firsts, knowing we were planning on doing it ourselves in a couple of days, and played dumb when confronted.